I am Jason Abraham, the Shadow Teacher, 33. And I've spoken of this term, NPC, which is used quite a bit these days in internet truth culture. NPC, a term that's derived from video game culture, meaning non-playable character. These characters in a video game that are just kind of part of the background, part of the scenery. And some believe that there are people in this world that are soulless vessels, which is basically like the NPC, a being that looks human, that looks like an expression of consciousness, but is just essentially going about the world regurgitating a script of mainstream consciousness or consensus reality. And this is typically what people associate with as an NPC. And in my work, in my 3D life, I work as a wellness coach. And I engage with people on varying degrees of consciousness. And at one time, I really struggled in my work, as what really was fascinating to me are these high expressions of human potential, whether that be physical potential in athletic strength feats, or consciousness or extrasensory perception, people who had great psychic expressions, intuitive expressions. That's more of what is fascinating to me. One of my mentors, that was his life work, is looking at the whole being, the physical, the mental, and the emotional expressions and possibilities of human, and how they all come together. And when you work with normies, you get a good contrast to that. You get to see people who, on the surface at least, may look more like an NPC. But some people, once you get to know them, once you dig beneath that surface, you see, wow, like this is an amazing soul, and this person is just looking for permission to express this greater part of them in a certain way. And they have dreams and passions. But what I've found too is the NPC, it has a certain attribute. And then the awakened, courageous soul, that is the operant power of consciousness in their physical expression, they have attributes as well. And most of us, we're on a spectrum. If we're honest, if we honestly look at ourselves, we see we may have some NPC qualities. Where are we just wanting to fit in with the herd and play it safe? And we also have this other place of being, this higher expression that is moving from this place of courage and creativity as well. But ultimately, what I see with the NPC consciousness is the NPC, what their values are, their core values are all things that are external. They're all values that have been assigned as high value relating to the culture that they live in. All external values. And for that awakened soul, what I find, these people have typically gone through a place of not fitting in and experiencing the pain of not fitting in with the status quo, and have asked, who am I really? Why am I here? And through that journey, they've learned to discover truly unique personal values. And what we see with the two, what I get to see, those who are on that path of awakening, and it is a path. It's a process that we're always going to be in as long as we're in a physical body. It doesn't end in this lifetime until we transcend the lifetime, until our physical form dies, but our soul lives on. But in this process, we're always going to be learning and growing if you're truly awakening. And a lot of that is going to be a shedding, an awareness and a shedding of any type of NPC qualities that we have. Like the part of us that is conforming to something that's external. Because what we find as we go on through that awakening process, those parts that are staying in that NPC world are what bring us suffering. And the NPCs typically, they live in a very flat experience of life. They don't experience the full gambit of emotions, like the lows and the highs. They stay very flat. When you ask an NPC how they're doing, they would say, well, I'm doing okay. Well, I don't hurt today. Um, you know, if you ask them what an experience is like, well, what wasn't the best, but what wasn't the worst either. Like these very flat, dull expressions of value is typically the NPC language. And if you're an awakened soul, there are going to be times when you experience these flat places in your life and you actually are orienting life more like an NPC. And the difference is you're going to find a suffering there. The NPCs kind of just attribute that to being how life is. And I want to say, like, I believe humans, we have potential to be that awakened free soul, or we have potential to be an NPC. Consciousness can do it all. And the NPC, they value fitting in to the norms of society. They value comfort more than anything else. And what results in that is this very flat, dull, mediocre expression. Whereas that awakened soul, they value, when you value that unique expression, that's going to come with risk-taking. That's going to come with sometimes being ostracized by those who are in that NPC consciousness. That's going to come with being lonely sometimes. But the payoff is this amazing expression that you get, that flow state, that vibe when you feel expansive states of awareness and expression that an NPC never thought was possible. So with that being said, I'm going to end this transmission. In what ways in your life right now are you showing up as an NPC? And in what ways are you expressing that higher, more expanded version of yourself? I ask you this. I ask myself this. With that being said, be well, be strong. See you on the other side, my friends.